Yeah, I'm a little different. Tequila. Straight.
Me?
Are you?
Stinking too.
That
Me too.
makes me
Straight.
so happy.
Straight.
Straight.
Yeah.
I'll take a lime. Give it a little something depending on the type of tequila it is. But yeah, I just need some straight tequila.
Welcome to the 42 Podcast, where we discuss life together, looking for answers to life, the universe, and, well, everything else. Here are your hosts, Rob and Lindsay.
All right. Good morning, Lindsay.
Hello, Robert. How are ya?
You happy I skipped your clap in for you this morning?
It threw me a little. I kind of grew fond of the clapping. It's sort of like a ritual, like brushing your teeth. You don't like to do it, but it's just what you do.
Mm-hmm. So, how you doing? I know you had a bit of a busy weekend. You doing okay?
I'm doing okay. Yep. I left my parents' house this morning in Massachusetts at 4:30 to get here so I could see the kids for a few minutes before I ran upstairs. Because yesterday I had a funeral to go to, unfortunately, so I had to be there. But I'm here now, and we're okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, upside, we're talking about some fun stuff today with some very fun people that we haven't introduced yet, but are staring at us blankly. Well, not blankly. One sipping coffee and the other's laughing. There we go. But we have some amazing friends on today, and it's Nell and Ken from Kenny and Nell and What the Nell, and oh my gosh, what you're doing a lot right now, Nell. So
I sure am.
what aren't you involved in?
Fireworks, apparently. I'm not involved in setting off any fireworks this weekend.
Well, now wait a minute. You declared that as you're staying back and watching our mutual friend.
Exactly. I will
try not to blow himself up.
Yes, that's exactly it. Last year I felt a little too close. This year I'm staying away.
You want to keep all your fingers?
Yeah, my feet I feel different about. So I could stand to lose a couple toes, but I'd like to keep my fingers.
As long as you get to pick the toes, I think it'd be okay.
I think this remains to be seen. I'll be impressed if you stay away.
Really?
If I stay away or she stays away?
She stays away. I know you won't.
Oh. Well, yeah.
I know you're not going to.
I do get a little FOMO sometimes.
So, yeah.
You were up there running around with us last year, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kenny was the one who stayed in the back.
You're right.
I tried. I was doing some filming though at the time too, so I was trying to get good shots without, getting blown up. So
that's always something to strive for.
There's that.
For me, I don't know, it's the moment and the memory that sticks out, but when we duct taped that Yeti up with a bunch of mortars and we're lighting them off to then run away, it was fun just because, you're running from that explosion, but then you turn around and there's Craig, I can't get it lit yet!
That might be the best video of my life, to be perfectly honest with you. I have to go back and look. It's got to be on my phone still, and it was pretty amazing.
I can't believe that was
that was a fun video.
Oh, yeah.
So, I have been told there will be more things to blow up this year as well.
Oh,
so
good.
We'll see what that turns out to be.
Of course.
But it's always a fun thought to think that someone woke up 4th of July morning and had all 10 fingers and 10 toes and is going to bed without them.
Yes.
And how not to be that person.
Oh, yeah.
So... But yes, Kenny and Nell are joining us this morning because if there's anyone that I know that does traveling, it's these two.
As much as possible.
Sure. Yes.
And I kind of picked your brain on it a little bit last night, Nell, but I wanted to do it more today. You were just in what is one of my favorite cities. I find it beautiful and fascinating.
Yeah.
And I want to be there more. I don't exactly want to live there, though. I've done that.
It's funny. I was talking about that on the way home. I said the exact same thing. I thought it was a beautiful city, and I was like, I don't think I could live here.
Yeah, So where were you?
I was in Savannah, Georgia. It was hot. It was humid. It was beautiful. This sounds weird, but it smelled really good. I mean, like just the foliage and everything. It was so beautiful. But yeah, just don't want to live there.
And it's a historically pretty rich
my
place,
gosh.
too. It'd be a neat place to tour historically,
Yes,
you know?
if you're going to go, you have to take tours. We did the 2 tours that specifically stood out for us were the food and culture tour that we did and the ghost tour that we also did. They're very famous for those.
Who was your tour guide on the ghost tour?
The ghost tour, his name was the spirit formerly known as Prince. That's what he called himself.
Oh.
It was so great. He looked like Prince. He even wore the symbol around his neck. And he wore these like velour bell bottoms, which might be why he overheated during our tour. And this mesh top that was very see-through. But he was a really great guide. But apparently another one of the guides comes highly recommended too. Her name is Lady Ravenwood. So, and a lot of these tour guides have been doing their jobs for like 20 years. So they're very invested, very knowledgeable. Yeah. Yeah. It was really a lot of fun.
My sister's ex is a tour guide down
Oh.
there. But if they use character names, then there's no way for you to know,
No,
really.
no. The only way I could really describe him was he looks like the reincarnation of Prince.
That is funny.
Yeah, not the hair. He had a big like something going on, but definitely not the hair. But body, face, he looked like Prince.
I feel like the best tour guides for anything have to be really, flamboyant and outgoing, and it sounds like he was.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely very outgoing. It was very cool.
Oh, excellent. Now, you guys do a lot of traveling, and part of the reason I really wanted to talk with you, the both of you, is because the way you travel is entirely different than, well, the way Lindsay and I travel, which is have kids, will bring line. So to a degree, I mean, what's that like? Where do you guys like to go? What do you like to do? Why do you travel?
Ooh.
Sorry, all the questions up front.
Yeah. No, I like this.
But why do you like to travel? Let's start with that
I'm
one.
gonna let Kenny answer this one.
Oh wow, you're just gonna put me on the spot.
I am.
I like to travel. I mean, the biggest thing for me is I like to travel to see new places and to meet new people. Speaking with people when you're traveling is amazing to me. Whether it be somebody you're sitting next to at a bar, or whether it be an Uber driver, cab driver. I mean, we've met some of the most interesting people traveling. A cab driver in St. Thomas that was from Jerusalem. I mean, you're literally in a cab ride that you don't want to end because you're having such a good conversation, and you don't get those experiences, staying home, I feel like. So that's my favorite thing is seeing the world, the country of the world, because there's so much to see outside of our area, and the people you meet are just amazing.
Yeah. No, I definitely back that. And it's not to say that you absolutely can't get those experiences at home, but at some point staying home, you exhaust those experiences. So you have to move outside of that realm at some point to get new experiences.
Yeah.
Do you think it's true that when you travel, that you can sort of be a new person in a new city or sort of reinvent yourselves everywhere you go? Because nobody knows you. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows that you were a jerk last city. Or something.
Yes.
So,
it's funny you mention that because I used to do this more often, and I don't do it anymore. But the last time I did this, I was in an Uber in Connecticut, I think. And my driver said, "Oh, what are you here for? What are you doing?" And I told him that I was an on-air meteorologist for a local news station, and I was covering some weather events in the area. And he was like, "Oh, that's amazing. What channel can I find you?" I was just naming some, BS channel, and told him to follow me on Instagram. And he did. I didn't expect him to. So sorry to the Uber driver, but it's really fun to just, be somebody else. After that, I stopped doing it because I felt my nerve then.
Yeah, social media makes that one a bit fun and tricky. But hey, you could actually just start your own YouTube channel of being a meteorologist.
A character, yeah, create a character for you to be.
Ooh, you're giving me some
ideas. And you're
ideas.
enough of a weather geek that, you post something and I'm like, okay, what's going on with the weather? Or...
That's a great idea. I'll get a green screen up here in my office. It'll be like a whole thing.
Sorry, Ken.
You never know.
One more thing she's gonna.
Rob, I lost track. Usually, I just lose track. What are you doing today? I'll come home and the office is set up in some weird way. It's like, what is going on in here today?
Hey, you got to keep it interesting. Keep them on their toes.
That's for sure.
Hey, but that's good. That is.
Yeah.
So, Ken, you said something that I've seen this, but it's never my perception of you. Mm-hmm. But I've seen how you do it, where you are a social butterfly.
Oh, he totally is.
I attempt to be, and I usually after a cocktail it gets a little better even, but I just like strike up a conversation with someone sitting next to me at a restaurant, a bar. I just love talking to people. People are interesting to me, and I'm always, when I'm away and I meet people, it's like I want to know their story. I want to know what's going on with them. And so I just easily talk to people. So
well, and I've seen that with you, but it's never the perception I have of you, and it's yep, nope, that's Ken. I can remember that. That's Ken.
So that's not the perception you have of me. That's an interesting statement.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to have a couple beers and talk that one out.
I would love to hear that one.
That's very interesting. I like to think of myself as very outgoing. It's funny. I see people, like, I'll see people out that I went to like high school with or something, like somebody that I haven't seen for 20 years or something, and I have no idea what to say to them. You know what I mean? And then you get that, like, you exchange the pleasantries, and then there's that awkward silence. It's like, okay, should we keep talking, or should we be like, okay, I'm gonna go grab the milk and bread that I came for? But with like strangers, I don't feel that awkward, like there's something that we should be talking about, but we haven't seen each other forever. Everything's new. So with strangers, I feel like, yeah, let's chat it up because I want to know about you.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because you shared some kind of intimacy in a way.
Yeah.
A kind of intimacy with someone or a kind of knowledge about someone. And maybe that sort of throws you because you think you already know something. But it's been so long, and what do we really ever know about people that we don't?
No, I agree. That could very well be what it is. But I find myself able to talk to complete strangers more so than someone that I maybe not seen for 10 to 20 years.
I just thought of another reason. I think we, good and bad, we pass judgments on people we know. And we think, which is kind of actually what I just said in a different way.
That's true.
But I think our judgments get in the way. But when you meet someone new, there's no judgments. Yeah. It's just like tabula rasa, like totally blank slate. And all you have is an empty canvas. And so when you just learn information, and learning is always fun.
Learning is great.
Maybe that's part of it.
I feel like other people would be able to tell me better. I feel like I'm approachable. In general.
So I'll say this. You're one of the easiest people to have a conversation with.
Oh, well, that's a compliment. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, when I swing by to pick up coffee or interact with you, or when you're at the church, I always enjoy having conversations with the both of you. But with you, Ken, and being able to connect, talk, and I don't feel like I'm having to strain or find areas to talk about. It's natural. It's easy. the part that I always kind of disassociate you being the social butterfly with is you have this quiet wisdom about you at the same time.
Wisdom, huh?
Mysterious.
Sage. Are you sage-like?
Yes.
Look, you were a mechanic for how many years? You've seen some stuff.
Yeah.
You've been around some stuff.
Yeah.
So there's a wisdom that you have that you bring that I value and appreciate in the conversation.
Well,
And so sometimes those perceptions just kind of run different tracks in my head, and it's, Ken is a social butterfly. He is very connective and very easygoing, but he also brings a grace and wisdom to the conversation.
I like that I have grace and wisdom. But yeah, I feel like, Rob, you and I mean, we don't see each other every day, obviously, but I feel like we spark up a conversation and have to kind of pull it away. Like even at church, you'll be like, we'll be in the middle of a service and you'll be like, yeah, I got to kind of go do a thing because like I'm part of this service, but I'll come back and we'll pick that conversation up and be like, well, can't you just let somebody fill in for you?
It's funny because you tend to do that. I always have this trick. Whenever we're about ready to leave a party, I tell him an hour before I want to leave that we need to leave now. And because it's going to take that hour to get him away from whatever conversation he's having. And if I go to the bathroom, it's over. If I leave his side, he's like a little child gone off into the woods. You can't find him. He's conversating with somebody else. And it's like, all right, time's ticking. We got to go.
This turned into a deep dive.
You say that, and I'm
about
laughing
Kenny.
over here because... I lost you guys.
He does this especially when we have company. Most often when we have company, he just loses it. But my husband is the same way as you can, whereas I, if I'm with people I really know well, I can be myself and I'm not afraid to be goofy and awkward and weird and what have you. Whereas I'm not so good at deep conversations with people I don't know because I assume they don't want to talk to me. I just have that assumption.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times that can be very true. But when you find that person that does, man, it could go on forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Are you back, Rob?
You there, Rob? Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
Not where I intended to go, a deep dive on Kenny's personality, but...
I was just going to say that. How did we get to the deep dive on me?
See, this is the cool part about podcasting. You never know where it's going to go.
That is true. It is true.
But also, the inverse is it's also the neat part about vacations because it's where, in a way, we let our guards down.
It's very true.
Yeah, I mean, part of, like, to elaborate on your point a little bit earlier where you asked why do we like to travel, another thing is a break of routine for me. I don't, it's just get out. It's like, so when I wake up in the morning, it's like, all right, so we're in a new place. I'm not at home, and we can literally do whatever we want once I have coffee.
Yep.
So it's a break of routine for me too, I believe.
Yeah, something neat that you've been doing in the past, like, I guess 4 or 5 weeks is that post of coffee every morning and just a quick little, like, I don't know, nuggets of wisdom from Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know how much wisdom it is, but I feel like it's a nice way to start the day and maybe interact with a few people. That's all, and social media can be.
I'm calling it
negative
nuggets
sometimes.
of wisdom from
Okay.
Kenny in my head. So.
All right. All right.
that.
Well, I can hashtag that every morning if you like. It would give you credit.
All capital letters.
Yes, it's all caps.
And I'll give credit where credit is
You know what?
due,
Just
so-
call it Kenny's Nuggets.
Because nobody's going to have fun with that.
We'll just leave that one there and see what happens, all right? There you
I
go.
can tell you what's going to happen. I know my friends.
I know a few of them, too, so...
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, that is the interesting piece where it's who are we on vacation?
mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think you're right. I think that we become different people. I think sometimes when the stress melts away, you become this. I become like a Zen person. We have this term, Vacation Nell. And it was a lot more of a contrast when I was still working my full-time, my 9 to 5 that I really didn't care for. So when I would go on vacation, it was like a switch would flip. And Kenny would say, "Oh, Vacation Nell's with us today."
Yeah, and it used to take like a day or so because she was still checking email and yada yada. But since we've done several things, and it doesn't take any time now. Obviously, she's still checking email for herself, not for someone else. But it transitions almost immediately now, and it's actually cool to see.
See, I find it funny that you said there's like Zen Vacation Nell, and I've always kind of seen you as Zen. So
me?
Oh.
Nell.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm not very Zen.
I'll take that as a compliment.
No, you're Kenny's Nuggets of Wisdom.
Yeah, I am not Zen.
Kenny's Zen Nuggets of Wisdom. No, I mean, I tend to be it's very strange because there are certain situations where they're not like imminent situations, like super crazy, where I can easily freak out. But when I get into a really tense situation, I get oddly calm. It's very strange. I was just a short story in a car with my sister-in-law years ago, and we were driving down the road doing something. I don't know. I think we were actually leaving a yoga class, so I was in a very Zen place at the moment. And she turned. It was nighttime, and it was hard to see. I think it was foggy, and she turned. It was looking like she was turning into the median in the road. And I just pointed my finger out, and I went, "Don't run over that." And she was like, "What?" Like steering the car. And she's like, "How are you so calm during that? We were literally about to just flip up onto this thing." And I was like, "I don't know. It's just a reaction I have."
That's good. That's a good reaction.
Yeah. When you can get into those situations and actually take a second to breathe and think, you become a little more Zen about that.
So, just curious, I know this is a little off topic, but do you think that comes with practice, or is that a throw the dice, your parasympathetic adrenal systems are just like,
I think it
calibrated just right?
I think it could honestly be a little bit of both, because I was not brought up in a way to not overreact in situations. I'll say that. My family freaks out pretty much at everything. I mean, literally like opening a cabinet and going, "Where's the bread?" Like freaking out because you opened one cabinet and you can't find something. But I think with practice, with regular meditation, regular yoga, and just being in those spaces and teaching your mind how to react in situations definitely helps. So I would say it's almost like 75-25. So, there's definitely a part of me that thinks I am hardwired that way. But if I look at my family history, there's no way I should be.
But if it's a tech problem,
like
if she opens her laptop and something's not working, I try to leave the house.
Yeah, that's a safe thing to do.
It's rough. It is rough. She wants her tech to work.
If it's not working, I am not happy.
Yeah, that sounds like every marriage has those little things where it's, I'm just going to walk away.
Yep. Pick your battles.
Come back when it's safe. Yeah.
It takes a while to learn it, too.
Yeah. 14 years in, took me 10 years to get it. And nope, I think I'm out on this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love you. I'll come back.
But honestly, having that ability to control your reactions in tense situations like that really helps while you're traveling, especially these days. These days.
All right, so I have to ask, because you guys fly a lot. I avoid flying like the plague. Have you guys ever been on a plane and been like, ooh, That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I think that Kenny will probably agree with me on this one. The flights to and from Costa Rica.
Oh, and it was really the landings. Honestly.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it wasn't the flight so much. The landings got a little sketchy.
Yes, there was one flight I think I was on when I was younger, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this is it. I'm 9 years old. This is how it's going to end." But no, the landings in Costa Rica. Well, our pilot. So apparently, my dad told me that United's pilots are a lot of like ex-military, ex-Navy, Air Force pilots. So they're very trained to land the plane like very
Quick.
hit the ground,
Efficiently.
Yes. But the way that the airport or the runways are situated in Costa Rica, they're kind of between these two mountains, and the crosswinds get really, really crazy. So when we were landing, I mean, the plane was teetering like this, and then you hit the ground with that ex-military pilotism. I was pretty sure we were going into one of those mountains.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was pretty rough. Yeah.
We had a friend that we were flying with at the time, and she doesn't like to fly, and landings and takeoffs are a little scary for her. She took, I think, a Xanax and some ginger, and she had the bag. Like, she was on the verge of throwing up from that landing. And then when we took off from Costa Rica, it was a little crazy too, just because of the winds. But yeah, that was scary. I won't forget that one.
But no crazy passengers. Just a few bumps and landings.
Yeah, bumps and landings.
Well, not
turbulence.
bumps and landings.
We had
okay.
Well, we had one woman in. Now this wasn't during the flight, but it was in Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, and like the whole plane was boarded, and the captain said that they were going to move some people around a little bit for like weight distribution, right? And this woman wanted off the plane. Like, it freaked her out. And I'm like, what is the problem? So they had to get her off. But, of course, for security reasons, they also had to get her bag off the plane. Because if someone gets off the plane, this is also what we learned, obviously, because she wants her bag also. But if someone gets off a plane that's been boarded and their bag has been loaded on, they have to get their bag off for security reasons in case, they put there's something in the bag, they get on, and, and they get off and they're trying to obviously do something terrible. But yeah, I mean, they were literally just doing some weight distribution, and she's like, nope, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
get me off this plane. And if it was a boyfriend, husband, I don't know, he was like, what are you doing? And she's like, I got to get off this plane. And I'm, oh my goodness. I mean, the doors were closed. They had to reopen everything, and it was wild.
Yeah, that caused a big delay.
Oh my God, yeah.
There were some unhappy passengers that day.
Yeah, we were on that plane for a while.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, I'm asking because that seems to be a trend right now of the
Yeah.
airplane travel meltdowns and
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, I think that for as many times as we have flown, I think that we've gotten really lucky, knock on wood. But
have.
there's always something. I think there was a medical issue on our flight. I think it was when we got to Mexico. There was a medical issue. They had to have a team of medical experts come onto the plane. They wouldn't let us off for a while. That's the only other instance I can remember.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty. I mean, honestly, as much as we fly, not as much as some people, but as much as we fly, it's been, pretty good delays, but not bad really.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not much interest there.
Sorry,
We don't have any.
Sorry, I don't have any crazy stories for you, but I guess
I would like
all
to
good.
not
I
have
guess
any
I'm not
crazy
sorry.
stories.
Hey, it's one of those, you do it more than I do, and my perception of flying is entirely different, so.
I love to fly. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. I love to book flights. I love to research flights for a week ahead of time. I love to book them. I love getting up at 3 a.m. to go to the airport. I love all of it.
You crazy.
All of it.
I like flying too.
Love it.
You're a sadist in my mind. I'm sorry. Nope.
I mean, I love
That's all
flying.
torture.
But, I mean, waking up at 3 a.m. to go to the airport, come on.
Oh,
I draw the line.
No, I love it. I just do. Sorry, I can't help it.
So
have you guys ever? Oh,
Go ahead, Lindsay.
Go ahead.
No, go.
Well, it's good. Have you guys ever heard of liminal spaces? Like hallways, empty shopping malls, places that are sort of either eerily vacant and not how they're supposed to be, or in between spaces.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's why flying, besides plummeting to your death part, is sort of fascinating, amazing, or terrifying, because it's sort of a unnatural liminal space that you're not really supposed to be in.
I can see that.
You know?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Definitely. I was just talking to an Uber driver, not yesterday, the day before, about this actually. And we were talking about how it's crazy that you can be on one side of the country 5 hours before you're on the other side. I mean, when you drive across the country, it just, I guess you have a different, obviously, I'll call it a depth perception of the sheer size and area of the country. But the fact that this little tube, I mean, in essence, I mean, it's a big tube, but it's a little tube, is taking you to these places that far away. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, it seems very, very unnatural, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck at the plummeting to your death part. No.
Well, let's hopefully that never happens.
Well, and I literally, there has never been a plane crash because of a plane plummeting out of the sky due to turbulence. I think I'm correct about that.
I'm sure you're right.
Kind of.
Oh, don't tell me.
There was technicality. It was jet wash and mechanical failure all at once, and
okay. Well, as long as we're throwing those elements in there has never been a plane crash due to plummeting just because of turbulence.
Does like hurricane also is like a hurricane or a tornado or a sandstorm? Is that all sort of defined as turbulence too, or is that sort of a different?
No, I think
altogether?
Weather definitely increases the turbulence for sure, but I think just natural normal turbulence just at 30,000 feet, there's never been an instance with that, I'll say. But yeah, weather,
well, I'm comforted.
there's no plummeting to your death.
No.
so kind of rabbit trailing on that hurricane bit. One of my favorite videos to occasionally watch on YouTube are the NOAA aircrafts as they're flying into the eyes of the hurricane, and you're in the middle of that gray mass of rain.
That was like my dream job.
And opening.
How cool a job would that be?
That's what I wanted to do. I went to school so that I went to school for meteorology, but my ultimate goal was to fly into a hurricane with the hurricane hunters.
That's awesome.
You've got a podcast. You've got a husband with a camera. Mm-hmm. I mean, just start chasing tornadoes, and there you go.
Yeah. I would love to do
You'll
that
get
too.
there.
There are those trips that you can do, and I will do one of those at some point. I hope Kenny will join me on that because they do offer those. They're very expensive, but you can go out to the Midwest and take those trips.
I think it's the only.
I would join you on that.
Yes, that would be amazing.
I would
Other than that, Other than that, I have no desire to go to the Midwest. It's too far away from the ocean.
Never. Jeez.
So, all right, I'm gonna rabbit trail one more later. Would you talk to Adeline tomorrow?
Which one? Which of us?
My daughter, Addie.
Oh yeah.
She has been starting to kind of take interest in weather, and like this fall, NOAA offers like a spotters course and things like that. Mm-hmm. That's for free.
I did do that. I became a certified spotter with the with NOAA. I don't remember how many years ago, but it was at the municipal building in Lebanon. They just held a course one night, I think it was, and that was fun. That would be really cool for her.
Yeah. So weather was a fear, but she's starting to kind of get the idea of it and be interested in it. So we're going to do that this fall when they do their next round of courses. And
that's awesome. That's how it started out for me too. It was a fear. I was watching the Weather Channel when I was a kid. There was a severe storm watch in Florida. Now, I was raised in Maryland, and there were all these like alerts going off, and I freaked out. And I got so worried I couldn't stop staring out the window. There were, I think maybe we were having a storm or something at the same time. And there was like a lightning struck somewhere. I paralyzed with fear. My dad had to do the whole "how many fingers am I holding up" bit, and so I would just get terrified at any other weather scenario going on, and I was banned from watching the Weather Channel for a good amount of time. Yeah, it wasn't allowed.
Yeah, so I'm gonna send her your way.
Yes, please do. I will be more than happy to talk to her.
Which, by the way, this is always the point I wanted to bring up with the previous podcast that you guys did. One of the things that you do that I've seen with the god kids that you have and other kids is you do this like cool aunt and uncle thing, and everybody needs to have a cool aunt and uncle.
Ooh, I love being the cool aunt.
Well, but that's what you guys effectively do. Anytime you're around kids, they have a view of the both of you because you're both welcoming and accepting and interactive, and you're the cool aunt and uncle.
Oh, I love that. That's
I'll be the cool uncle.
Yeah, that's what I aspire to be, the cool aunt.
Well, I mean,
I love it.
like when we did the one chip challenge at your house, I watched the girls take reign of the whole house, and you guys are chase the cat, go for it.
Yeah, you know what? Keep them on their toes too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know, it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I like being the cool one. Even Craig even like calls us Uncle Ken and Aunt Nell when he talks to the girls. So, and I don't mind that at all. I think it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an honor, really.
Yeah,
I love it.
That was the only point I ever had to bring up with you guys, where it is just the two of you, but you guys are like the cool aunt and uncle anytime you interact with kids. So,
that's cool. Well, at least, I used to think that very small children hated me and they could feel my sense of fear for children. And I think that maybe the real little ones still do, but I mean, hey, you know what? It's very cool to have kids here and be able to visit kids and then let them go back to their parents.
And you know what? That's perfectly fine.
That's what grandparents love so much.
Yeah.
That's what my parents love.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yay, we're happy to see kids again. Yeah. Here you go. We've had enough.
Give them a bunch of sugar and let them run around and be like, all right, here you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Take them for a week in Disney, sugar them up, spoil them, and then send them home for you to have a 3-week headache. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
3-week headache.
Good luck. So you drove to Florida just recently. I mean, so how was that? Because that is intriguing to me. Like, it's a lot of time in the car, especially with some kids.
With kids, yeah.
Some family. It's like that is interesting to me.
Every Florida trip we've done, and we've done them about every 3 years, we've driven, and every trip has been different. So the first time we went, Addie was 4 and Ray was 6. Mm-hmm. Now, that was just us in the car, Mel, me, and the kids. So I was driving. And that worked because it was, okay, we know how to manage the kids. We know how and what they need. But we also did the trick of, okay, everybody's getting up at like 1 in the morning, pile in the car so we can be through D.C. and Baltimore and almost to one of the Carolinas by the time people start waking up.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, driving is different. I mean, the drive down the past 2 times, we always did it as straight shots. We're getting there, and then we'll stop in Florida kind of thing. Which I prefer because I just want to get there.
Yeah.
This time we did a stop in the middle, and it was just, okay, I'm sick of the car. I don't like that middle stop. It extends things too long.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and the drive home has to be brutal. Just because
drive home
you're exhausted.
is actually easier.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like you're exhausted and you don't have the excitement of where.
But the kids are exhausted too.
Oh, yeah.
So they're passed
Okay,
out.
I got you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Or they've got their goodies and their toys and all the cool things they got, so they're busy.
They got their Mickey ears on and all that stuff. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and that one we've always
And you do
broken up into a
audiobooks.
2-day trip. Oh yeah, audiobooks are your friend on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, that first trip down, to everyone's objection, I put on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea because that's one of my favorite classics.
Mm-hmm.
And that lasted until about 7 or 8 in the morning when Mel woke up and was, no, we're doing something else. And I've only got like 9 hours left.
Oh, yeah.
Only.
Only. Sure.
But I prefer the drive just because I hate the flight. But we're
Yeah.
talking about what the next Disney trip is.
Ooh.
And there's kind of a twofold reason of, okay, we're going to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the timing of when we would do the trip, flying, we would have to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, my kids are at the age where we're dealing with the fears and the paranoias and how do you manage fear.
Mm-hmm.
And flying again, I'm up for almost anything. Yes, standing next to a firework that's about to blow off a chunk of my body, great. Getting on a small metal death tube with wings that you're telling me is safe? Nope, I'm out.
Perfectly safe, Rob.
I have to be medicated.
That's what alcohol's for.
That's why they have bars in airports.
Yeah. I need something a little bit stronger than that. But it's one of those things that we're talking about where it's okay, let's let them see how I process that fear. And how they can, fear can be a piece of who you are. It doesn't have to run amok and ruin everything you're doing.
Very
Sure.
true. Very true.
Have you flown? Okay, so you have. All right, gotcha.
Yeah, but it's when I was 8, I saw a big plane crash. It was a 747 that just went right into the ground, and that was
When you
the
say
one that
saw,
was standing
saw?
with a mile of the impact crater.
So where did you see?
Flight 427 in Pittsburgh. It crashed in 92 or 93.
Oh.
Okay, so you
And-
saw where it crashed. You didn't see it crash.
I saw it crash. I saw the fireball.
saw-
Oh,
You
wow.
did?
Wow, that's
Yeah.
wild.
So that kind of screwed me up with
yeah.
flying.
How did I not know this?
I've mentioned it, but I try not to camp on it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I get that.
Well, the
So-
fear is definitely, I see why.
Yeah.
And that was the plane that came down because of the backwash and mechanical failure.
Oh my
It's just one of
gosh.
those-
Yeah.
It's one of those that I read up on every now and then. But that screwed me up with flying. So yes, I've flown, but there's a tension
Oh,
and panic.
I get
that I
it.
feel.
well, that's
Absolutely.
that's understandable. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. So
Oof.
yeah, you can look it up. There's a soccer field full of kids out in Pittsburgh. Flight 427, 92 or 93.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah,
think I
I'm
will.
definitely going to look that up.
Yeah, me too.
Just want to know more about
Yeah.
it. Wow.
Yeah. So yes, that's something I deal with.
Yeah.
But no, we're talking flying though for the next Disney trip, and
Yeah.
I'll be happily medicated.
Yeah. I can go to the airport with you and hold your hand if you like.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like carry me onto the plane if you're doing that. I mean, it's weird. I'm weird, but
It's not weird. It's unique.
Yes.
all right. So we've kind of bounced into the next topic and question I wanted to ask: drinks on vacation.
Oh yeah.
And are you already planning your morning mix?
I not yet. No.
It's 4th of July weekend. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be. I tend to on holiday weekends in the summer when there may or may not be pools involved. I tend to be pretty simple with usually just Corona and a lime.
So, I mean, is that the vacation drink you go for? Do you go for the fruity things? Is there a favorite vacation drink?
For me, my favorite vacation drink is a rum runner. With
Define?
a rum runner.
What's up?
So it's just like fruit juice and like various different rums. Usually spiced rum, some coconut rum, and then whatever fruit juice. There's no one place that makes it the same. But the best one, they'll put a Myers dark rum floater on the top, and that is vacation in a glass for me. I mean that, and I say that like a warm location. So that's what, and then morning mimosas are a given. Rum runners, and then Coronas if it's during the day and it's warm. So that's me.
Yeah, I'm a little different. Tequila, straight.
Me?
Are you?
Stinking too.
That
Me too.
makes me
Straight.
so happy.
Straight.
Straight. I'll
yeah.
I'll take a lime. Give it a little something depending on the type of tequila it is, but yeah, I just need some straight tequila.
I love tequila.
I'm very simple.
So, I'm the only one who drinks it in my house,
Same.
so I don't want to be the person that spends like $40 on tequila if I'm the only person who drinks it. So I'm trying to find like a middle of the road tequila that's cheap-ish but tastes good. And do you have any recommendations?
I would recommend. I think it's called Espolon. It's kind of middle of the road. It's a Blanco. I haven't had it in a while. I've been out of tequila actually for a while. I started drinking mezcal too, because it has a smokier note. There's a little bit of a different process to its process, but
Normally,
Casamigos is typically the one that I go to, the Reposado, because I don't know, it just tastes good. Patron is honestly like last resort for me. I think it's good. I think it has a cult following, maybe for whatever reason, I don't know, because I don't think it's the best. I just recently in Savannah, actually, I had 818, which is, I think it's one of the Jenner kids, Kendall Jenner's tequila. And I saw it on the shelf and I thought, I'll give it a shot. It's probably terrible. No, it was really good. Don't sleep on that one. There's literally, I think it tastes like, it has like a vanilla aftertaste. It like a vanilla bean. It's really interesting. Very cool. But yeah. Us tequila gals, we got to stick together.
Can I interject on tequila a little bit?
Yeah.
It seems like there's no really cheap tequila.
Oh, no, there is.
It's at my gas station. And
it just seems like everything that comes into the house is $50 a bottle. It's like, when you're used to drinking I love Captain and Cokes, and buy Captain for $25 a bottle. It's like, why is every tequila $50?
See, to me, $25 is a lot. I wouldn't spend $25 on a bottle because I would feel. It wouldn't taste as good if I spent $25 on it. But there's this tequila at this. So I live in a super, super small town. So like this gas station, you can like tag hunting. There's like hunting things happening there. There's a pizza place there.
Oh, wow.
You can like get teeth pulled there. I'm just kidding about that, but it's like,
I was like, do you live on the border?
Everything happens at this gas station, and they have this tequila, and it's got a hat, a red hat, a sombrero for a cover. And I tried to take it off because it's so tacky. I didn't want it on my shelf. And it was bad. So stay away from liquors that have plastic hats.
I like that piece of advice. That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the cheap tequila, when it's bad, it's bad. I mean, the red hat one, that sounds like...
So I think, is it Sierra? I
don't
just
know.
looked it up. I just Googled it while you guys were talking.
A red plastic
Yeah, there's
cap,
a red plastic
like
cap.
sombrero.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
probably
it's
it.
the Sierra brand, it looks like.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna not buy that one.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
There's also some
No.
really cool small batch tequilas out there from like local distilleries. I know one of ours does tequila around here. I don't remember the name. It's not Hidden Still, but there's another distillery around here that does that. But yeah, small batch ones are cool too.
Hold on.
Or do they?
I only know of Hidden Still. There's another distillery?
Oh, yeah.
Lidditz.
Yeah, it's what is it called?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one in Lidditz.
Sorry, I only knew the Hidden Still, so
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, the one in Lidditz, I think, does tequila.
Yeah, and it's just
Okay.
they just have like a tasting room with a little bar. So
I love
yeah, so
those.
it's not like Hidden Still where there's this giant restaurant and it's this big thing.
Yeah.
You can't get food. It's just you go in, there's a little bar with maybe 6 or 8 seats, a couple little tables and like a couch, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's a cool little place.
It's called Stole and Woof.
That's it.
Stone
Yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now this is the other
God bless
thing I
you.
also appreciate about talking with you guys. Again, having kids, I don't have that same leisure and freedom with their schedules.
To go
that
out and
you
get
guys
tequila
do,
whenever
so-
you want.
Right. But I can get the recommendations and go, okay, that's going to be something we're going to do in a couple months. And
Yeah.
yeah. Ken,
Yeah.
it's, I guess, the only rum drinkers here. I recommend Gosling's Dark Seal rum
Okay.
with Barrett's ginger beer.
Ooh.
It's called a Dark and Stormy.
Oh, okay.
That sounds
I,
good.
Good.
I love ginger beer, so I'll try it.
Yeah,
I've had one rum that I liked, and it was a bottle that looked like an octopus. I think it was called the Kraken. It was called
Oh,
Kraken
yeah,
or something,
Kraken.
and it was super good.
Yeah, I've seen.
Very
I
good.
know that well. I'm not sure that I've had it, but I know exactly the bottle you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I find rum too sweet.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't like the sweet, but I liked that. It was very
Lindsay,
good.
I want to see your liquor shelf. It sounds very aesthetic.
See, the thing is, we will never have a liquor shelf because we open it and it's gone in 2 days. So we have like a spot in the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's on like our place. I don't know when we would ever do that unless we got a ton of money and we're like, let's buy a case of something.
Right.
I know. But take me shopping. You can take me
Well,
shopping.
you could, speaking of cases, you could go shopping for wine in our basement. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's the other, like, I'll drink wine. I tend not to drink that as much on vacation, though, because
No. Yeah.
I do drink wine at home because we have a lot of my dad's wine collection. And
Cool.
he's been a collector for the last like 20 years, and he used to work in
That's
California, so he got hooked up with a lot of these wineries and started this collection. And there was this whole story about a heist that happened at a storage unit down in Maryland, where that's how we ended up with a lot of the wine. But
Wait, like you were the heist?
oh no. There was a situation at a storage unit near BWI, and my dad had some wine stored there because it was a temperature controlled unit, and he had like 4 pallets worth of wine. And I mean, it was a huge unit. There were United States senators that had wine stored there and everything. And he got a phone call one day that the owner and operator of this storage unit went to jail. And he was like, what? And the guy said, you have 24 hours to get your wine out of here. So he called us up on a Friday afternoon at work, and he was like, what are you guys doing this weekend? You want to come down and get some wine? So
Okay.
we rented a U-Haul and got the wine out of there. The guy had a gambling problem, and he was stealing the wine from people's storage to feed his gambling addiction, and then he would replace the wine that he took with cheap bottles he bought at the liquor store. Yeah, it was a big thing. So for a while, when we got some of this wine, we didn't know if we had, the $5 bottle or something worth a lot more. But yeah, my dad lost a lot of wine in that. That was
There are.
So did you Did you research what you had, or does it not matter to you that much?
Honestly, I mean, we kind of knew some of what we had, just because of knowing his collection. We had gone to Napa. We learned a lot. We did tastings and things like that. And then some of these bottles you'd pick up and it would be like, oh, I never heard of this one. Or what's this blend? This isn't, like a normal thing in higher end wines. But, yeah, so some of it we did research and some of it we did know what we had. Yeah.
Cool. That's really cool. Interesting.
Yeah, so
we should see a picture. Can we see a picture?
Oh, yeah, I can definitely take a photo.
yeah, we'll take a photo. Yeah, the agreement was, he was trying to figure out where to go with this wine. Mm-hmm. So he rented just like a storage facility that was temperature controlled, just like a random one that you would just go to along the road. And he's like, I got to do something with this. And I'm like, well, so I started looking up wine storage, and I said, well, I'll put up as much wine racking as you need in the basement. He said, well, you can have as much as you want of it. And not have, but I mean, it's one of those things where, like he said, like, you're going to get it anyway. So he said, at least we all get to enjoy it together now while we're all still alive. And so I put up wine racking that I bought from Amazon all around the basement. And we have somewhere in the range of 700 bottles down there at this point. Now, some of it we have a cooler down there with the really, really good stuff that we keep in the cooler. But, there's about 700 bottles, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I've seen the basement, and it's a lot of wine.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And I picked your brain on it because one... Oh, yeah, good luck. But... yeah, I've picked your brain on wine because it's not a thing I drink much at all.
I've come to really love wine, and I know a fair amount about it now, and I know also a fair amount about what I like. I guess that's what I mean. Maybe I'm not an expert, but I know what I like, and I know why I like it. So,
yeah,
and that's that's under that little like Kenny's nuggets of wisdom. Hey, this is a bit of a surprise about my personality. The first time I heard you talking and describing wines, I'm like, oh man, I am total idiot on this. I'm gonna shut up and just listen.
No, you know what? Honestly, for me, I grew up around it, but wine for me is about pairing with different foods and like the palate and different tastes and flavor profiles and things. Because I'm a foodie, and honestly, that's part of what I love about traveling is food and culture and wines and alcohols and all kinds of lovely things like that. We could talk all day
That's
about
cool.
that.
oh yeah.
I gotta say, my favorite wines are the ones that are stored in whiskey barrels or bourbon bottles, so it's stored that way and it kind of takes on those whiskey notes or bourbon notes. I really like that.
Yeah, same.
That's
I
my
feel like
favorite.
there's like a tequila flavor profile thing here. Like there's personalities where if that's what you like, then you're probably in the same realm of liking other different or other flavor profiles like that too. That intensity of behind what's you're drinking.
Yes. Exactly. If I'm gonna taste a thing, I want to taste that thing. I don't want it to vaguely seem like that thing. I want that thing to hit me in the face.
Do you like spicy food too?
I do. I don't like pain though. I don't like the pain, but I like a good strong flavor. Like almost pain.
Yeah, verge of pain.
But yeah, verge of pain, but I'm not like competitive eater or anything about, I don't, if you eat spicy food, I will watch you eat the spicy food and not feel inclined to copy you.
I feel the same way. I like spicy food, but I want to taste it. Like a strong flavor. Yeah. Love it.
I'm just watching Rob in the background here. This is outstanding because we all know his thought on spicy food.
Yeah.
Which is what? I don't even know your thoughts on spicy food.
Rob, go ahead.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, I assumed you knew. Rob, go for it.
No.
Yeah, there's a whole video. We'll have to send you the video.
Yeah. The one chip challenge.
Yeah.
You can for all those listening out there, you can find it on Kenny and Nell on YouTube.
On our YouTube channel. Correct.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so spicy food is yes, and then add some more.
I mean, this man
if it doesn't sear my soul, then it's not spicy enough.
Yeah, he literally eats this chip. It's the spiciest chip in the world. Everybody else, Kenny was on the verge of throwing up. Craig spewed milk all over my kitchen window. And this man, Rob, right here, is standing there with his arms folded in my kitchen, just like, yeah, it's cool. I'm chill.
He's annoying that way. That I would just kick him. He's so annoying.
That is a completely accurate story. Like I ran out the front door because I thought I was going to throw up. It was that hot instantly. Mm-hmm. And I come back in and look, and he's just standing there like hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, what's
just
wrong
chilling.
with you?
I took one bite of the chip and I thought I was going to die.
Now, I haven't had the courage, and as far as I know, Craig has done this. Those little gummy bears that are like 9 million Scovilles, I
I'm out.
have not done that.
I'm not doing it again.
You'll be like, you know, in the movies like Seven, where like Kevin Bacon's taking all his fingerprints off. That what your taste buds will be like. They'll just be gone. You'll be like Kevin Bacon. No. Not Kevin Bacon, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Seven, the bad guy.
Oh,
Spacey.
yeah.
Yeah,
Weirdo.
Most people haven't seen that movie. And I'm not a movie guy, but I've seen that movie. It's interesting to say the least.
That says something about how old we are, I think, because that was like a super important movie to everybody my age as up here. Everybody saw Seven and loved it and had opinions on it. That and The Usual Suspects and like Memento and not Insomnia so much, but like those gritty movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rabbit Trail. I'm reeling it in.
It was a very interesting movie.
You have to see it. You really do. It's part of your culture. It's part of your culture.
I'll do it. I want to be cultured.
You've got to see it. You've got to see it. Yeah.
Well, hey, just enjoy the fact, Ken, that you've got a movie that Nell's never seen now, because you were being harassed about Top Gun.
Which is rare because I'm not a movie guy. I'm not a movie buff. You and I have talked about this. I haven't seen any of the Star Wars movie. I texted Rob the one day because I was mowing grass and I was listening to the podcast, and at the end of it, I texted him and I said, "I'm a really good friend," and his response was, "You are," and I'm like, "That's not what I was going for, Robbie. You were supposed to ask why I'm a really good friend." So he proceeded to do that. I said, "I listened to that entire podcast and I had no idea what the crap you guys were talking about." But I listened to the whole thing.
So you realize that this is actually partially a response to you texting me where it's like, all right, fine, we're going to bring Ken on.
But it was just funny because I want to support the podcast, but I had no idea what the heck you were talking about. I'm like, none of those names, other than the mainstream, names that everybody just knows because they know them. Other than that, I had no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. The Star Wars did lose me a little bit.
Well, and we veer into it occasionally.
Yeah. Well, how can you not? I mean, it's the people that love it. And I kind of want to know what this love is. So maybe one of these days I'll start with the episode 1. Is that the first one? I don't even know.
Start with episode 3.
Oh, okay. Episode 3. I'm going to write that down.
Do the originals and then go and do the others.
Okay.
But it's classic, beautiful storytelling, and
it's like Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like Shakespeare, except not Shakespeare like with the iambic pentameter, but or whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it's like Shakespeare level.
Okay, I love a good story. So
yeah, maybe we'll get hooked. Who knows?
Yeah. We'll be Star Wars people. Next will be Harry Potter.
Oh.
Wait.
Yes.
Huh?
I know. I know.
What?
Never read the books. Never saw any of the movies.
Oh.
Well, just read the books.
Okay.
Read the books.
I think I'd probably rather read the books.
Read the
books.
They're much better.
Yes. So, Melinda and I have been married for 14 years, and for 14 years I've been harking on her to read the books.
Oh, she never did either.
She loves the movies.
Yeah.
Never read the books.
Okay.
Now, there's a whole reason why she got turned off to the books, thanks to college and Christian schools.
Yeah.
But she did finally, post finishing her master's, read the first Harry Potter book.
Good for her. That's
So
awesome.
got to get her onto the second one.
All right.
But yes.
All right. Well, maybe I'll follow suit. I've got a lot of books I want to read.
The Harry Potter books are really good.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do it.
You got to get past the first two.
Oh.
Once you get into the third one, it gets a lot better.
Okay. Good. That's good to know. I'll keep that in mind.
And they're not bad audiobooks.
Okay.
Put it there.
They're amazing audiobooks.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's even better.
But real quick, I think we're running out of time, but I really would love to know if you guys have any inspiring travel books or travel memoirs, books about traveling.
Ooh.
Like, for instance, Bill Bryson. I love Bill Bryson. He's hilarious. I read his one about Australia. He's funny. He's hilarious.
Oh, look that up. I don't know Bill Bryson.
Yeah, it's called... oh, man, you will never be the same, because he's got tons of books. But it's a memoir, like memoir sort of, travelogue. It's called In a Sunburned Country, and that's about Australia.
Okay.
And he narrates that on Audible, and he's hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I think some of his humor might get past you reading it, but listening to it, it's great.
That's cool.
I highly recommend. But do you have any travel stories or books that you found inspiring?
So, as far as books go, I haven't read any travel books, I don't think. We honestly, and Kenny's not really a book reader, but
Yeah.
we watch a lot of travel vlogs on YouTube.
Yeah, we are YouTubers. We watch YouTube almost every single day, and that was part of where our love for travel actually came from.
Yeah.
Is watching some of the channels that we watch. So I
Yeah.
mean, we have several channels that we watch religiously, almost like they're just like a TV show, like a weekly episode. And that's where we get our inspiration from, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's probably close to, I mean, there's like a good 7 or 8 that we watch religiously. I would say probably close to 15 that we'll just watch on and off, but subscribe to.
Yeah.
But yeah, these travel vloggers on YouTube, that's definitely where we got inspired. And as far as like our own travels and everything, that's where we document everything, is on YouTube. So we have that channel, and then we watch all these other channels. That's a lot of, I know that there are definitely books. We watch Kara and Nate religiously, their travel vlogger on YouTube, or channel. And they have constantly mentioned books that travelers need to read. And I need to look those up again. I think one of them specifically has to do with travel hacking, which I know Kenny is like our resident travel hacker. So he might find that one more interesting.
Love travel hacking. Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely some books that we should be reading.
There's a really good podcast to listen to called Zero to Travel. And so the guy, he has a family now. So he lives in Norway, but he's from the Philadelphia area, and he met his wife while he was like backpacking in South America, I believe. And so he backpacked for like 7 years, and now he has this podcast. He's settled down now, still does some traveling, but they have a couple of kids. They live in Norway, have an apartment. And his guests are very wide-ranging, and they all have a lot of great knowledge, and they're all very different. It's not about one specific type of travel or anything. It's all about travel, but there's definitely a lot of variety, and that is my favorite travel podcast to listen to. And I love listening to podcasts. I'm not much of a book reader. I'm just not. I find they don't keep my interest. I get bored while reading them, even if they're interesting. But podcasts I can sit down and listen to forever.
Oh, maybe you could listen to an audiobook.
So yeah, maybe an audiobook might be what I need to do.
Oh, and I'm thinking of 2 other inspirations. Anthony Bourdain, of course, like huge
love him.
inspiration. And Josh Gates.
Oh yeah, Josh Gates.
Yeah, we saw him live last year, and that was awesome. Loved him. Expedition Unknown, I think, on the Travel Channel or Destination America, I don't remember. But yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's got some
Cool.
travel under his belt.
But yeah, on YouTube, I mean, we watch Kara and Nate. We watch Lost Leblanc.
The Nomadic Movement.
The Nomadic Movement.
And they're very cool because they have a coffee company called the Morning Movement. So we get to see a lot of, they have their roastery in Panama and they're opening one up here in Vermont. And so they're very cool too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, they literally lived on a bus and drove like up and down the east coast of the United States, then drove through Central America, ended up going to Panama, buying this piece of land in Panama, and like living on their bus, and they're building these like tiny houses on this land, and they're inviting like the people that they have a couple people like work for them, and they also live on the land. It's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, and the Endless Adventure, they're very cool too. They're traveling. They're hitting all 50 states this year.
yes, they built a.
Oh, wow.
They renovated a vintage RV, and they're traveling to all 50 states this year. So they just started. So
brief aside on that, something for you to aim for maybe. When my grandfather retired, he got his gold wing out, and every summer he rode all 48.
Oh, wow.
oh wow,
So
Wow, every summer.
every summer.
That's amazing.
that's great.
Yeah, so there you go. There's something to aim for.
Definitely.
You know, you retire, put Nell on the back, and just go.
Well,
Hey, why can't I be in the front?
Go get your own.
we can
You know what? I like that idea better.
ride. Dual ride.
Yeah.
Sorry, he put Grandma on the back, and they just went. But go get your own. Both of you just go.
Love it.
That's cool. I like to hear that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And that is a beautiful way to see
All
the
right.
road.
I'm sure.
For sure.
So, all right. But you guys have a lot that, well, no, you have a lot that you're doing and promoting and involved in. So what are some of those things as we wrap up?
Okay, so I do have my own podcast as well. It's called What the Nell. I typically have guests on. Sometimes I do my own thing, but I have that podcast. We also have our YouTube channel, Kenny and Nell. It's a travel channel. What else am I doing? So I recently just went full time with our business at the beginning of the year called Enticing Media, where I basically focus on video editing. I've also gotten into the videography spot just kind of by default. So I work with a lot of like small businesses, things like that. I'm also in the coaching space now. I do my own coaching. I call myself a symmetry coach. But I also signed on as a partner with the Slaymaker Method, who is owned and operated by Kyle Slaymaker from Lancaster. He's a business and sales coach. So, I'm doing a lot of things right now, but all of them very exciting. I yesterday just signed up to film a celebrity golf tournament in a couple of weeks. So I literally am going to be riding around on a golf cart all day, filming ex-NFL players. And I'm like, this is my life. Like, this is cool.
Okay,
Cool.
I have to ask,
That's
is
pretty cool.
Jerome Bettis on that list?
I didn't see Jerome, but it's a lot of ex-Eagles players.
Ha.
Yeah, Brian Dawkins, Michael Vick, those guys.
Jeremiah
Trotter, yeah.
Okay.
But if I do see a Steeler, I'll get a selfie and a thumbs up for you.
Hey, that's my team. Anyway. Yeah, so you've got a lot that you're doing. And one of these years, Ken's going to launch his own travel business, right?
Well, that would be incredibly awesome if I could do that. But, I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where you definitely need the time. And it's hard to do it as a hobby and try to launch it. So maybe Nell will become so successful that I'll be able to quit working and focus on something else. So that would be cool.
Maybe.
That
That would be
make
cool.
it
You never know.
happen.
You never know.
Hey, with the way you guys are going,
That's what
it.
I really love. I love travel. I love travel hacking. I love helping people travel and finding ways to do it more affordably, that's like has become a complete passion of mine. So that's what I like.
So, yeah. All right. Thank you guys for coming on. We'll put all the links for your stuff, Nell, down in the show notes if anyone's interested.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This was
Thanks
so
for having
much
us.
fun. So much fun.
You okay over there, Lindsay?
I threw a pen by accident.
And it was nice to finally meet Lindsay. I've heard her voice many times on the podcast, but now I actually have a face to go with it while I'm listening. So this was good.
Very.
Yeah,
Now you can picture what I look like when I'm screaming.
Yeah, that's right.
Throwing pens.
When you're screaming at Rob to reel it in.
Yeah.
Come on, Rob, reel it back in, buddy.
Yeah.
Look, let's just admit, every project I have in life, there is some woman who is going, no, you're an idiot, just come back this way.
We need that, Rob. We need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes.
We need
Yeah,
it.
you do.
I do. Apparently.
Me too.
You all do.
Me too.
No, it's been good. So thank you guys. I appreciate you coming on. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll catch you tomorrow
Likewise.
for a couple of drinks and some pool time, and hopefully everybody leaves with all their fingers.
All the
Yeah,
extremities.
that's what I'm gunning for.
Yeah.
Maybe a drone or two will get winged, but we'll just have fun with it.
Yeah, I
They
plan on
come with extra wings.
I plan on having a good time with it. So
Oh yeah. So, all right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we'll see you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the 42 podcast. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. And if you want to join in on the conversation, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter to add your voice to the conversation. Thank you.